Welcome to Decker Tech, a place where I make unique decks that haven't seen the meta and that are valuable enough to play in paper but aren't going to break your bank. So the goal of these decks are to fund unique decks to play at Friday Night Magic. This one is Simic Stories of the Sea, or Simic Sagas. In this case, I don't like our opening hand. We go first and have nothing to play. Not likely to get to 4 mana and nothing to do with 4 mana, so we are going to mulligan. Much better, tier 2, turn 3. We're probably going to ditch the Agent of Treachery, just because that's not... we're going to draw into other things later. So everything in this deck is either a saga or some sort of story, or it has to do with the ocean, the sea, and, like gales and weather and stuff. So if you check my video before this one, the one where you go against Sultai value, I kind of break down how all that worked, and it is pretty sweet. So right now, next turn we play Risen Reef. The turn after, we could play Thassa instead of Tamiyo. I think I like the Thassa better than the Tamiyo at this point. If the Risen Reef sticks around, our opponent probably playing Teamer. Not many Izzet decks around here. Ooh, exciting. I don't even know the name of that combination. Okay. So, buy Risen Reef. Now I think we play Tamiyo. So, whoop. Almost clicked on the wrong thing here. So, say Tamiyo. Don't tell him what our top card is. So if we successfully cast Tamiyo next turn and he doesn't hand hate it. Grixis, that's a color combination. I know this color. Kroxa, discard something, we'll discard Kroxa. I like to see Kroxa decks. So if we played Enigmatic, we could sack the Prophecy for a Risen Reef, but I think we'd rather just draw 2 cards. And also prevent our opponent from making us discard cards in the future. So things we want to return or things we want to dig for. We have an Enigmatic Incarnation. We don't have any Saga to return, but I think I'd like to return a Saga next turn. So I think we just name something. Something we have a lot of and we want to play next turn. We have 3 Cavalier Gales. We'll say Gales. Cavalier Gales. Okay, no Gales. Other things we could have named that we'd have liked. Nope, I think we're fine. We don't need to draw any of that here in the near future. So we can adventure the Lovestruck Beast and play Enigmatic. Nothing to sack with to the Enigmatic. But the turn after we could bring back like a Prophecy or something and do it that way. As much as I hate to see my opponent make mistakes, I really want him to play something that makes us discard. Okay, so definitely doing the Lovestruck. Maybe doing the Lovestruck twice, like both sides of it. Okay, we got a Leyline on top of our deck. So if we play the Enigmatic Incarnation, the Leyline, or we just name Leyline with Tamiyo. That's pretty cool. That's pretty sweet tech. And then we could flash in a blocker with Lovestruck. That could be fun. What else do we want from the graveyard? No, I think we'll just name Leyline. That's new deck. Interesting way to do things. So leaving up a forest. Now we can flash in the Lovestruck Adventure. Tamiyo does not have an ult, but she does have a powerful passive effect versus this opponent. Swingsies and Z's, please. I'll make a creature and block. Boop. And now we can play the Enigmatic, sacrifice the Leyline, and make a Gales. Like, the Leyline didn't do much, but it is turning into a Gales, and later we're going to play Enigmatic for 2 more Gales. So... Quench would have been nice. Probably letting Kroxa hit the Tamiyo at this point, unless we get back something to deal with him. It says non-land permanent. Choose return target card from graveyard to your hand. So we could get a land to play Enigmatic and hold up a counterspell. I think that's okay.
The storied past holds our future.
And then get a Cavalier Gales. Do the things. So the Gales also sets the top of our deck for Tamiyo. Tamiyo we didn't have in the first couple versions of this because I'm not a smart thinker sometimes. What can I say? So we could leave the Gales in hand, and then if we Enigmatic... So if we play an Enigmatic and have two Enigmatics and have them sacrifice each other, they can both get the Gales. And getting the Gales... you can put one Gale from hand back into the deck and then search it with the other one. So having a Gales in hand is okay at this point. Like even if we go with the double Enigmatic line of play. Can't discard. We could just sack the Gales and make two Gales next turn. And keep the Tamiyo around. I kind of like the Tamiyo making it so we can't discard. Scry here, we're looking for a land on top. Yep, land is good. So, lines of play. We can bring back something from graveyard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is there any one costs in the graveyard? No, we don't run one costs. Lovestruck Beast. We could just make a 1/1. Yeah, that's what we'll do. So we're just trying to be efficient with our mana here and get as much values as possible. So, Lovestruck Beast.
I have learned much.
Lovestruck Adventure. Enigmatic Incarnation, and hold up mana for Quench. End step, these Enigmatic Incarnations sacrifice each other, and we make two Gales. Putting back, I think we want to keep one Uro, put back a land. Doesn't matter the order because the second Gales is going to come out. And set the top of our deck again. So we'll keep a land in hand, we'll put a Prophecy and a Games back. Which one do we want to see more? I think we want to see Games more than Prophecy at this point, so we'll keep Games on top. And now if we really want to, next turn if she's still around. Ooh! So we have a Quench, but that's not going to do enough. Resolve. He got the Tamiyo. Now what has he got? Drill Bit or something? Okay. What do we discard? We discard an Uro so we can just cast him from the graveyard. I feel like this is the deck... Do you guys remember our No Thank You recently played? Like, I feel like every time we make a deck, we play against it just a turn or two later. Like, it is so crazy to me. Okay, we still got the Quench. Kiora, Best to See God. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, please. So there's a lot of scrying and filtering that goes on in this deck that you just don't see behind the curtain. Make a Kraken. Anything you play gets locked down next turn. Anything you play the turn after, I steal. This is just no good for you. Okay, the version we had didn't have blue. Aww. You got my Kraken. So Tamiyo also really works really well with Kiora, Best to See God because it puts itself in the graveyard. So just saying, it's kind of broken. So we can play Tamiyo or we can escape an Uro. I think we play Tamiyo next turn to get the Kiora Bests back. Or we can play her now and the next turn get the Kiora's Best back. He'd be forced to destroy her. Burrow and hold a counterspell. Or Tamiyo. and name Quench. New lines of play, haven't thought them through. I think we'll just do the Uro. Sacrificing things that we don't get back. Problem is we have a Tameo, so what we sacrifice does matter. So play Love Struck and hold the Quench. So what we can do is we can bring back a Risen Reef to enable the Love Struck Beast to attack. So that gets Love Struck Beast and Uro? Sure. Still got the Cavalier going on. Okay, I like your blue lands. I'll take this blue-black one, please. Would you like to tap it? Play me a forest. What do we got? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So guess what that means? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. Cameo. Bringing back Kiora, Best of Sea God. Oh, that's weird that it... Yeah, Kiora, Best of Sea God. Play Kiora, Best of Sea God. Make a Kraken. You got another soot? Keep this up all day. Woohoo! Game 1. Complete. So, kind of got ourselves into a good lock there. That was nice. Problems with his deck. So he does have blue, so I'm tempted to bring in the Mystical Disputes for that reason, but I'm not sure what they do. What he's got the blue for. So we saw board wipes, we saw hand hate. I guess the hand hate was just for the thought erasures. Mystical Dispute could be a turn 1 counterspell to that. Omen of the Seas can come out. Love Struck Beast doesn't really block much of what he's got, but it did the Triton. Did block the Triton okay. Maybe down at games. It's not playing green-red. Disdainful Stroke, negate, Quench. I'm almost fine with another Quench. Alright, this one I'm not feeling as confident. I'm not going to spend as much time sideboarding as I usually do, so if you see anything that you think is a great sideboard option, go ahead please in the comments, let me know, and we'll kind of discuss what kind of give us the benefits of playing certain cards against him. Maybe something I'm overlooking. Normally I take that to the timer, and today I just wanted to practice not doing so. So if you, like I said, if you have any comments on the sideboarding, please let me know. Opponent is on the play. He didn't really have any early threats. He kind of had the mid-game threat with Grixis, so we want to make sure we hold up counter spells for the 4 mana range. He is going to hate our hand a bit, so holding more threats in hand is good. This does not count as more threats in hand. Oh. But with him hand hating us, going down to 6 is even worse than usual. I think this is okay. He didn't have the super early threats. Maybe this time he plays Mire Triton a little sooner. And we're just scrying to find action. That is not action. Okay, so Scry saved us a card. Yay. Okay. Duress, you take your pick. Enigmatics or our own games. We have 2 of each, so it doesn't really matter. My play pattern is play our own games, then Enigmatic, and it's really cool for us. Well, if we had Prophecy first. What you got, dude? Okay, maybe he has another hand hate, maybe he doesn't. Thought Erasure. Grixis. No. So I could play the games, or I could play the Uro. He knows about the games. He doesn't know about the Uro. We got all the colors we want. Let's just do the games. We could have played Uro to go around the negate, but I'm okay playing into the negate just because we got it out of the hand. Whew. Uro looks a lot worse now all of a sudden. Uro still at least is a growth spiral, but my goodness. So we can play the Enigmatic and then the turn after play the Enigmatic. I think that's still the correct play pattern. If he disrupts this, then we do not get our double Cavalier, but he might be out of disruption. Or he's got 2 of it on this turn. We'll see. Okay, this is not an activated ability. If he names Enigmatic Incarnation, then he does not understand Sorcerer's Spyglass. If he names Tameo, that's a big deal. And we'll probably still play Tameo eventually just for her passive effect. Okay, so he understands Sorcerer's Spyglass. That's good. We like it when our opponent understands the game. Why is he milling himself? Because we have a Tameo? So we don't have a way to play around any counter spells, so we're going to do this anyway. Okay. And now do the double sacrifice thing. Unless he destroys one of them. Or bounces one of them. I'm trying to think of what he might have. Okay. Triggers on the stack. We're good for double Cavalier. We can't search our library. Woo! We don't know how to read Planeswalkers. And I didn't have to sacrifice that for second one. That was a mistake. So, ways to not read cards for 500, Bob. Oh, Alex. Whoopsies! So, I was wondering why he wasn't worried about our Enigmatics, and now I understand, and I feel really dumb. So we're never going to be able to escape a room. We will be able to play the Tameo, so we can't discard stuff. So we did have Tail's End in our main board at Once Upon a Day, and right now would be a time where we cancel the triggered ability to sacrifice Uro, and we get to keep the Uro. So it's kind of a 2-card combo that draws you a card and gives you a 6/6. So I'm tempted to put Tail's End back in just because of this game right now. Okay, so he can't hand hate us because of Tameo, so we should be able to get it. Oh, he can hand hate us because we're not discarding cards. Or a permanent they control. I will exile a forest. Thank you.
My intellect is without limit.
This is not the deck we were talking about. We said we always see them play our decks. This is not our deck. What do we want to put on top? So, I think Uro is the least exciting of these 3. And we'll Love Struck Adventure. Okay, so there's Enigmatic Incarnations. We could have them on the board and not sacrifice them and just keep ignoring their trigger until we get rid of Ashiok. In which case, on this next turn, if we have the chance to destroy Ashiok, we could be like, oh, by the way, you know, things. So, mistakes were definitely made. We could still just have those Enigmatics just chilling. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We do not have enough mana for this. But it is a good card. Does it get us out of the lock? Probably not. Okay. Got rid of it anyway. What can I say? Okay, that is a creature, luckily. How not to read cards! So I think it's Thassa and a Quench. And then we can start tapping down his blockers and swinging his planeswalkers, but oh my goodness. Problems we have here. Submit 0, please. We do not want to exile our token. Card from hand or a permanent they control. I think we actually get rid of the token, but I like the token for swinging in. Decisions. What kind of big spells could he cast that we want the quench for? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think we keep the quench. Tamio is going to be turning off some of his gameplay, so I think it's actually the forest again. We're just slowly dying to Nicol Bolas. Resolve. So he gave us a chance to make a mistake, and we chose not to accept. Opponent has 34 cards left. Okay, check. So we could tap down a blocker and swing in for 1 on the Ashiok. I think that's probably the right play, just not my favorite play. Although we could hit the Nicol Bolas, like... Is it a white token? Look at that. A white human token. That's funny. Okay, so things that aren't doing us good this game. Tamio, well, Tamio's still doing us good. Thasa's not doing us good. Quenches, not doing us good. Exile a card or hand or permanent, all the things that we don't want to exile. Okay, if we don't find a way out of this in the near future, I think we may have to concede soon. Because we are reaching dire straits. Okay, no blocks. I don't have any blocks.
You're making it difficult to work.
Can bring in a Kroxa. And I can't counterspell it with this quench. Ways we can get out of this. Cavalier Gales gives us a little bit of card advantage. Madoma's Prophecy probably wouldn't work. So on the play, the quenches get better. Lovestruck Beast does not successfully block enough. And we're just drawing lands, and we keep losing lands to his Planeswalker. Maybe if we'd kept more and more land, gotten rid of the quench, and draw an Agent of Treachery and steal the Nicol Bolas. So I think it's Thassa at this point.
My schemes are never ending.
So we should have probably kept 7 mana just in case we top deck an Agent of Treachery or Kiora Best of Sea God. Yeah. What do is do? How one does. Go, Tamio! Do your thing. Sure, we'll block the 5/5. So if we had one more land in play, didn't have this quench in hand, and we drew a Kiora Best the Sea God. Gales might get us out of this, maybe. What you got? You got a counterspell? So Mystical Dispute hits the Nicol Bolas and the Ashiok. So I can hold up the quench successfully. I can play a land. And I can hold up the quench successfully. Mystical Dispute I might not be able to hold up. So Problem is, Nicobolus can just kill the Cavalier. Swings in for 6. And Croxa just does, pretty sure Croxa's doing 3 damage just by swinging, because we're not discarding a card. So, yeah. If he just kills the Cavalier Gales and swings in, I think he's got it.
Suffer for your cause.
Kiora best to see God. Nope. What else do we want? Not lands. That's all we don't want. Check. Boop. See? So we lose 3 life because we didn't discard. So we lost with the Quench in hand, and we lost with the Nicol Bolas on the table. So, yeah. The pain was real. So I think I like Mystical Disputes. We already had a bunch. We can go down 2 Quenches. Maybe just ditch the Love Strucks in general. And the games. So let's just go with some counter magic here. Disdainful Stroke and Whirlwind Denial. So we're going down our early blockers and such. We're keeping all our Scry package and all our instant speed package. We're bringing in some more counter spells and just going to control his threats, try to resolve an early Tameo so that he can't make us discard. And if we get a Mystical Dispute in hand and play an island up the top, we can... Oh, I guess he's on the draw. I just said something that had no effect on this game. Sure. He can still turn 1 Duress us. Does not get our Risen Reef. Because we have all our colors. We have a 2 and 3 mana play. We only have 1 dead card, so to speak, and it's a threat. So I'd prefer a 3-land hand over a 4-land hand, just because he's got hand hate. But I'll take what I can get. So I can play the Prophecy, or I can hold up a Quench. I think I'm fine playing the Prophecy. And the next turn I'll hold up a Quench. Dispute we love. Prophecy we're actually pretty okay with, I think. So next turn we draw the Dispute. We hold up a Quench and a Dispute. Turn after... Yeah, because we want the Prophecy just in case he gets rid of our Risen Reef next turn with an Agonizing Remorse. Okay. Okay, and then we're just going to name Madoma's Prophecy with Madoma's Prophecy. Play an island and pass turn. Now we got a counterspell suite going on over here. Okay, let's quench that. You got a Mystical Dispute? Because I got a Mystical Dispute. The counterspell wars are real! Okay, and then we play a Prophecy, drawing 2 cards, taking a look at what else we got. Mystical Dispute, yes. Leyline, no. Leylines get a lot. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Our opponent playing some nasty magic. Okay, he doesn't like us having a Tameo. Check. That's fair. Does shuffle our library, though. So we don't know what we're casting next turn. Luckily, we get to draw before that happens. So we get a draw, and then we need to make sure we order triggers. Order triggers. Gameplay, do not auto-order triggers. So, when this happens, we want to make sure that we want to look at the top card. Drag triggers to choose resolution order. We want to look at the top card before we choose a card name. Whew, glad we got that. Enigmatic Incarnation. That seems like the thing to name. Okay. Play as a forest and pass turn. We do have a Scry 2 if we need it. Whatever, we'll just keep that off. I think we're okay with that. So casting it will get us the effect, regardless of if he does any interaction to us. So we'd rather 2 cards, unless he has a Whirlwind Denial. Okay, play the land he knows about, hold up Counterspell Magic, go to sacrifice the Prophecy, get a Risen Reef. Or an Uro. Let's see our graveyard. 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Next turn we're playing Agent of Treachery. Let's play the Uro and make him want to mess with our graveyard. And we can play another land. Plays Nicobolus, we Agent of Treachery it. He plays anything else, we Kiora Best of Sea God. Like, if he doesn't play a threat, we Kiora, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He knows about this Agent of Treachery. Mystical Dispute. This plays around Mystical Dispute, so maybe we just Uro instead. We know we've got a Soot. If we Uro, he... So we think he has a counterspell. He knows about this. He's going to hold a counterspell until the time that... So if we play Uro and get a land, we can maybe play Leyline of Anticipation, then hold up the Agent of Treachery at instant speed, which would be really nice. Or we could just play the Leyline of Anticipation, try to get a Cavalier of Gales into play, or we could just play Cavalier of Gales. I think the Agent of Treachery, because he doesn't have any counterspells that like get him super value. Okay. And we'll just take out a red source. Nicobolus is triple black, so we'll take out a triple black. Okay, we have Quench now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I want to play something that's smaller so I can hold up a Quench. Decisions here, ladies and gentlemen. So, we want to hold up counterspells. Leyline, we could sack for a Cavalier and have up 4 mana, or we could just play a Cavalier and have up 3 mana. Sure. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a lot of Quench. Sure. Do 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 do. It's not threatening enough damage, so I think it's the Leyline paying 2 green for the Leyline. Do we want to waste our counterspells on this? No. Because that represented a Cavalier, so that does threaten him a turn earlier, but 2 quenches means we're pretty safe at any sort of blowout here. 3 quenches, I forgot. 3, 1, 2, 3. So if we play an Uro, we can only hold up 2 quenches. I think that's okay. But I don't think we need to. Because we're threatening lethal with 2 of our creatures. Good game, good game. He just had answers to cards that we didn't have in play. And sometimes that's the way of things. Whether you misguessed the sideboard wars or you just drew the cards that weren't the cards that your opponent drew. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. Anyway, that was a stressful game. Like I said, sorry for some of the slow plays. There's a lot of contemplating to do when you go into Counterspells War, especially if you're playing a new deck. I like this deck a lot. This is one I have in paper. It is... I don't have some of the... Like, I don't have all the breeding pools yet, and even this online version only has 2 breeding pools. So I try to keep it a little down to what my card level is in person, and it's been a lot of fun. Just, it's very thematic too. If you haven't seen it, like I said, go back to the other video. Just kind of check out all the thematic little things going on. And if you like this, please share it with someone else, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.